I am Luciana Hartwin. Welcome to the Temple of Bastet. If you find value here, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. A Bastet-inspired Beltain, awakening your inner feline power. There is something about the flicker of firelight that changes the way we see things. It turns the ordinary into the strange, the familiar into something touched by magic. A candle flame, a hearth fire, a great roaring bonfire at the height of spring. Each one carries a story, a whisper of something ancient and untamed. Beltane is such a fire, a threshold between seasons, between light and dark, between what is known and what waits just beyond the veil. It is a celebration of life at its most vivid, of passion and growth, of bodies and spirits moving together in the dance of renewal. The Celts knew that fire was more than just heat. Fire is transformation. Fire is desire. Fire is the thing that burns away the old and clears the path for the new. And if fire is passion, if it is change and power and the pulse of something wild, then there is perhaps no better guardian of its mysteries than the cat. The feline gaze of the goddess. In the land of red sands and silent pyramids, there was another festival, another devotion that pulsed with life and reverence. In ancient Egypt, a goddess walked with the grace of moonlight on silk, her presence a whisper of pleasure and a promise of protection. Bastet, the cat-headed deity, watched over homes and temples alike, her golden eyes holding the wisdom of something eternal. To the Egyptians, Bastet was many things. She was joy and music, laughter and grace. She was also ferocity, a silent hunter in the reeds, the sharpened claws of vengeance when provoked. She was the embodiment of feline power, soft and supple, yet utterly untouchable. To love her was to love the cat itself, that most inscrutable of creatures, the one who walks alone, who purrs against your skin one moment and vanishes into the night the next. Imagine then a moment where two worlds touch, where the flickering fires of Beltain meet the golden glow of Bastet's gaze. Dancing on the edge of fire. Beltain is not a quiet celebration. It is music and movement, skin warmed by firelight, voices raised in joy. It is a night where the boundary between the seen and unseen thins, where magic runs thick in the air, curling like smoke around the feet of those who dare to dance. It is the fire of life itself, of passion, of bodies moving in rhythm with the heartbeat of the earth. And what creature understands movement better than the cat? A cat does not hurry. It flows, stretching itself into impossible shapes, coiling and uncoiling like living flame. It walks with purpose, with a knowledge so deep it does not need to be spoken. A cat knows when to leap, when to rest, when to vanish, and when to return. There is something inherently Beltane-like in that. A deep, instinctual trust in the body's ability to move, to feel, to know. To invoke Bastet on Beltane is to remember this, to walk with the confidence of a creature who knows its own power, to touch pleasure without shame, to stretch into the fullness of one's own skin and feel utterly at home there, to embrace the fire, not just as something to be watched, but as something to be felt. A night of liminal beings. Both Beltain and Bastet exist in the spaces in between. Beltain is a festival of thresholds, the shift from spring to summer, from night to dawn, from the mundane to the magical. It is a night where fey creatures step lightly through fields of wildflowers, where spirits flicker in the corner of one's vision, where the world is not quite as solid as it was the day before. Bastet, too, is a goddess of thresholds. She is neither wholly domestic nor fully wild. She watches from doorways, from temple steps, from the shifting place between shadow and sun. She is protection and destruction, the gentle nuzzle and the unsheathed claw, both in equal measure. To stand in the light of Beltane's fire is to embrace the in-between, to acknowledge that we are neither one thing nor the other, but always shifting, always transforming. The cat knows this. The goddess knows this. And somewhere, deep inside, so do we. The call of the fire and the night. Imagine this. The fire crackles, its embers curling like tiny serpents into the night sky. Around it, figures move, some laughing, some singing, some lost in a private reverie known only to themselves. The air hums with life, thick with the scent of blossoms and earth, smoke and sweat. A shape slinks through the grass, golden-eyed and knowing. She does not run. She does not need to. The firelight catches the arch of her back, the gleam of muscle beneath sleek fur. She watches. She waits. Bastet does not demand. She invites. And so you move, not as someone seeking approval, nor as someone needing permission, but as someone who belongs to the fire and the night, just as much as the cat does. You let your body move the way it wants to move. There is no right or wrong way to dance beneath the stars, just as there is no right or wrong way to be a cat. There is only instinct, only the breath of the wind and the drum of the heart. Beltane's fire burns bright, but it does not burn alone. Somewhere in the shadows, a pair of eyes gleam, watching, approving. You dance. The cat watches. The night opens its arms. And somewhere, a goddess smiles. If you found value here, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. I am Luciana Hartwin. Thank you for joining me today here in the Temple of Bastet.